Be led by our divine, and we'll be fine. Don't be defined by our timeline. Be led by our divine. Welcome to another EBX discussion. Salute my soldiers and soldierettes. And if we alive and breathing, we are back to fight another day. And welcome to another EBX discussion. And let's get to them honors, shall we? Honor thy ancestors, honor thy mother, honor thy father, honor thy sister, and I honor thy brother. And may anyone in our families, if they transitioned, may they rest in peace and in power. And may all of our families prosper and everything we touch turn to gold. And I know we're doing great, if we're alive, and just be thankful because there are those that didn't wake up. I just like to keep that, in one spirit, because we all have had those in our families. Just kind of want to keep their spirit alive, especially if they had some kind of impact on our life and they meant something. So that's why I do that. And what another reason why I always do that, what I always say, to keep that spiritual momentum strong and going. And we're going to talk about what it's like and the joy of being a silent hero. Not all the time, but we're going to talk about the joys of it. And I'm going to break it down because I know we got a lot of brothers and sisters, soldiers and soldierettes, salute, that are silent heroes. Because what I always say, folks, that divine has all of us in the position that we are in for a reason. You just have to know this. And whatever position we're in, whether we think it's low or high, or it just depends on what your perception is of things before you and how you feel about oneself. That's the most important thing. Because once you got oneself fire and desire on fire, once you're on fire and you become unbothered and unstoppable, yes, you have reached that point. You just do things because it's the right thing to do. And you won't look for recognition, and because we overstand and understand the laws of attraction. And that's that great creator's laws, not man's laws. We talk about principles, things that flow what? Say it with me, folks. Naturally, the most beautiful way we can be, even though it doesn't come easy. Being a silent hero takes a lot of practicing on our, studying our intuitions, conquering our emotions, which you'll hear me talk about a lot, knowing our insecurities that hide in our body sometimes and try to fester, never suppress, deal with every issue as it comes, even if it's uncomfortable. You go through these different things when you're a silent hero. And of course, not being distracted by social media. You definitely can't be a silent hero if you're looking for attention on social media and you're looking who's got the high status and you're clout chasing, and never get yourself into a space where you become lost, because especially if you got family, children, things that you're attached to, the mind is where the most studying and the classes need to be taken, is in our minds. And I know it sounds so simple when we hear this so much, but until you get to this point, you will never see that once you conquer that mind, my brothers and sisters, man, it's nothing that can stop us. Nothing that can stop us. Because all great things must follow a divine mind. Because when you just do things for the joy, for the love, for the teaching, for the growing, for the breathing, for the living, that great divine, Mother Nature, the universe, will always drown us in blessings or blessings. And some things, of course, there'll always be negative forces. But, when you're living a second nature, righteous life, you don't even think about things like that. You focus on what's important via the world, children, things that are going on around us. Of course, that's one of the vital tools of being a silent hero. We have to be aware of things that's going around us, or we wouldn't be able to have the tools to be equipped to be a silent hero. Because again, it's not easy being a silent hero, brother or sister. But it feels good, doesn't it? It's the greatest feeling in the world when you just support others without them really having to know. Just support each other. We don't have to show each other. I mean, we can. It's good. It's good to, to show love to a brother or sister. I ain't saying be antisociable and don't say nothing to nobody at all. Not saying that. But when we do, let's make sure it's sincere and it's not wrong intent behind it. Because, what we hide in the dark would always come out in the light. And that goes for me too. So that's the beauty of being a silent hero, when you're not looking for recognition and you're just doing it because it's the right thing to do. And it's beautiful. Cultivate that. We still connect and we still socialize. We don't not do that. But some things, let's just enjoy the moment before, then we share it to others. Because, it's beautiful. And it's the gift that keeps on giving, and we'll thank ourselves later, and we'll look back on the great things that we just did because it was the right thing to do. I talk about volunteering at the school I'm at my son's school sometimes, but that's just to let those know that I'm being active out here and I'm doing what I need to do. That's where it comes to that's where it comes to being led by our divine. Let our divine define us. We be defined by our divine and not our timeline, and just flow and keep on moving. Never stop. No such thing as stopping, quitting, no weariness, no doubt, no downtrodden. Fuck all that shit. Sometimes you got to say fuck that. Let our spirit be a bully righteously, because one spirit is a bully. My spirit tell me what to do. My spirit tell me when to walk, when to speak, what to listen to, what not to listen to, righteously. We have to learn, always say what to burn our energy on, and it's, I heard a female say this yesterday. She said, I pick my battles, and that's what we have to do. We have to pick our battles and always pay attention to the bigger picture. Never get off track. Stay on course. Know what to respond to and what not to respond to. And even when we do respond to different things and different issues and things sometimes make us feel some kind of way, still go at it in an intelligent way, because that way we can see and be able to work out things. Because something you'll hear me say time and time again, always look for a solution and results. Always keep that in our spirit. And, being a silent hero, a lot of results, a lot of great things, and a lot of victories will come about. And which leads me to, I always like to look up the definitions of things, just to educate myself on it more, like I always say. So we're going to break down being a silent hero. And kind of like, because everybody looks at hero and being a silent hero and a silent alpha male. And like I said, everybody plays a part on this walk, this righteous walk. If we really trying to lift those up and empower those, everybody plays a part, whether it's high status, low status. Okay, so we're going to go. And there's 3 parts, and they're just small definitions, but I'm going to read. Here's number 1. Quiet heroes are folks who do what's right, and they keep right on doing it, regardless of the risk to themselves or their personal feelings. We just do it because it's the right thing to do. Especially when, I'm telling you, like I said, I volunteer. And you'll never know, what's going on in these schools unless we get our asses in there and see what's going on with these kids. And because I'm telling you, the more I go, the more I interact with these children, when I do, because there's good days, bad days, because I'm the one that I get the, the straggling kids that's in the hallways, that's out of the class, and they're supposed to be in their class, and I ask them where they're supposed to be. Now, some days it don't be no kids in the hallway, so I just kind of sit at a little desk and just kind of monitor the hallways. But when I do interact with them, it's a beautiful thing, and I'm getting to know them. I'm learning their names, and also my son. Also, I check in on his class, and his sisters too. If she's there. I don't know if she was there yesterday. I didn't see her, but I seen my son, and his sister is not my biological daughter, but she's still my daughter. But anyway, and that's another reason we should volunteer, parents, so we can really get in there, and those people will see that we care, and that child will see that we care. So that's the beauty, and that's just a little example of myself, not just of myself, just in general, just an example. That's the beauty of being a silent hero, that enjoyment of it. And that divine will bless us or bliss us for life when we move like that. When we just support those just because we can. Just do it because it's the right thing to do, brothers and sisters, soldiers and soldierettes. Salute my intelligent brothers and sisters and reachers and teachers. Okay, we gonna go to the second verse. Not verse. I'm thinking of hip hop. I tell you, I be doing hip hop all the time. And I hope those enjoy my little fun clips, because I got one where I was impersonating, it's called Redneck Bob, and it's not meant to be offensive. It's just a little humor, and it's a voice I do all the time, And the one I just did where I was dancing, I'm just trying to show we gotta have fun, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? That's my hip hop talk. Nah, I mean, but we gotta have fun and enjoy ourselves and just let ourselves flow. And I'm learning this myself. I'm teaching myself this too. Let's not and I wrote this in my book, Unlocking the Vault. And I did this on a podcast yesterday. Page 18, Unlocking the Vault. And it's 3 parts if you'd like to check it out right here on my channel. And something I wrote in there. Do not let oneself become too rigid. We stay focused, on point, but have fun. And don't forget that we are humans and not bots, not robots, Get our asses out here and get active. So, okay, I want to read the second part of this definition. Okay, this is number 2. A quiet hero is not a myth. It's an icon or a legend. It is someone who is solid, genuine, and real. And the critical factor is not scale of heroism. It's not a scale. In other words, it's not, we don't measure what we do. We just do it. We don't look to see how good it was or how good we can be. We just do it. You know what I'm saying? So, and we get the joy from it. And we do it to get those blessings, not to get them, to get things, because God is not, like I say, the higher supreme being is not some God we put in a box. And it infuriates me, because I think of the things that a lot of us have been through and still going through, and the things we are seeing, and people dying, and just random shootings, and family, and we have these altercations with people in relationships, and the one end up killing the other and killing themselves. It's just too much going on to get caught up in bullshit. So that's why it's good to just do the right thing, be as right as we can possibly be, and the blessings will come. And it's not nothing I'm making up or trying to be smooth or intelligent. Those that have lived a righteous life and seen those great things come back, we know. I've seen it time and time again in my life. So I know others have to be experiencing it, or has experienced great things come back. When you give out great things, you get back great things, right? It might come slow, or it might come right away. Because got to remember that the great divine moves in mystical, magical ways. So we're on that divine time. Always keep that in your spirit. And we are defined by our divine, not our timeline, not how high our status is or clout chasing. Never get lost in that shit. Stay true to oneself at all fucking times. I don't care how challenging it is. It is worth it. Anything that's great that you're trying to reach, or an individual trying to make grow, if you gotta go through a storm to get through it, you go through that fucking storm. I don't give a damn. That great divine will take you through it. And you already know how we know this, because the storms we have went through in the past, and we'll continue to go through more storms, because the great divine has that power at the end of the day to make anything happen and make that way. And that greater force, Mother Nature, the universe, will draw that line right down through the middle and divide the wrong from the right. That's the only time division will come into play, because that force knows that we are getting stronger and know that we are aware. And it's one thing that we all can agree on. No matter where we are in our lives, we all know that there's a higher force, whether you call him God, the greater creator, divine, whatever label that we put on it, we all know that there's a higher force, because we've all had magical, weird things happen in our lives that we can't explain, especially those that are melanated and those that are vibing, really high, and our intuitions, are heightened, and our intelligence is just off the charts. We got so many intelligent brothers and sisters out here. That's why I judge no one, because everyone walk is different. Long as one is real from the heart, because we always in the learning process. I don't care what level of education that we are at in our lives. We're always gonna learn something. It's always something that divine has for us. So don't ever think we can get to the epitome of education in on our spiritual walk. We know some things, don't get me wrong, because we got a lot of powerful, I always say, intelligent reachers and teachers out here. Salute, because I have learned from many, melanated that is. And so, but that great divine has so much more for us. We haven't even scratched the surface, as I always say. It's so much more that we haven't even grasped, that we haven't even stepped into, but we close to it, brothers and sisters. So I want us, like I always say, I want us to see how really powerful this force really is. It's not some little small thing. So I will express that on every podcast or video, or maybe even in a song, because that great force has done so many wonderful things in our lives, brothers and sisters, and we cannot deny that. And those need to, all of us should take moments and just think about the great things that greater creator, that great divine has brought in our lives. Whether it's, it could be some finances, because a lot of us that are righteous, we know we need money, but at the same time, we don't give a fuck about money, And I said this on a recent podcast. When you bring yourself to a space, and I'm not talking about accountability, family, etc., but when you bring yourself to a space when you don't give a fuck, things tend to move, kind of freely. When you just let yourself go and just do what you have to do, brothers and sisters. Don't get mixed and mangled into drama, the world, social media, tit for tat and beefing, all this unnecessary bullshit that some of us, not all of us, put into wrong energy, things that take us away. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy ourselves, as much as we can, just make each other's laugh, out of nowhere. Like, I like impersonating. I'm not that good at impersonating voices, but I like impersonating voices. And, of course I did the redneck Bob voice I like to do. But sometimes I like to do Arnold Schwarzenegger, if I say his name right. I like doing his voice, and I always do it at work. And it make people laugh sometimes, it makes the guests laugh. So I'll be in the back and I'll be like, "Get to the chopper, no!" Just stuff like that, just random things. And people will look back to it, "Oh, that's my Tourette's," and they'll laugh, So I can be funny sometimes, but we don't never have to, when we live by that divine, when we defined by that divine and not our timeline, that force will just, man, just have us doing things and bringing out abilities in us, and showing, and we have us blessing ourselves so much we have to bless somebody else, because gifts are meant to be shared. We cultivate them, and we enjoy it for just a moment, because sometimes that divine that force wants you and it to enjoy with that gift that it gives you, because it wants you to appreciate it and really see the enjoyment in it, and really see the beauty in our gifts. We got to go deeper into our gifts, and all of our gifts, especially the psychological ones. Those are most important, because when you got the psychological in check, I know everything else will fall into place, especially when you're led by that great divine. And all these wonderful things that I just talked about, it can stem from the joy of being a silent hero. Because I will always let those know. I know I'm not perfect. I'm a human being. I might make mistakes sometimes. But one knows one's heart. And always say that to yourself, brothers and sisters, when you getting up in the morning, brushing your teeth, and you're looking in the mirror. The divine knows one's heart. So don't let outside shit make you think different. No, you stay righteous. One knows one's heart, and the divine. Because if anyone is dark and evil within, it will be revealed. And that goes for me too. So never listen to any discouragement, and we stay that soldier no matter what, because it's too many people out here that's hurting. And we always got to keep that in mind, because we, like I always say, we're attached to those. And we always got to be ready for those attacks that come out of nowhere. Because especially when you're righteous and you a brother or sister that ain't taking no shit, and you about your people, and you about growing, and you about living, and you ain't about that bull. You have no time for it. Your spirit, like I said, your spirit will become a bully. When you ain't taking no shit, it's just certain things that your spirit is not gonna tolerate. The realness in you won't let you tolerate bullshit. So again, like I say though, just enjoy the gifts that we do have, and cultivate it, especially if it's righteous and it's for the growth and the betterment of our fellow brother and our fellow sister, our children, our families, those that we are connected to. But I want to go back. One's not perfect, as we all are not. But like I say, always know if you're righteous and you mean well, and to the pit of your soul, and that you do things to help people, and you want to help those grow, and when you try to support when you can. Never let nothing on the outside take that away, brothers and sisters. Never lose that. Never lose it. Make it grow. Remember, there's going to come a time where you are going to be where you've been striving to be. That time will come. Because remember, folks, like I said a little while ago, we all are in a divine position that we are in for a reason. We got to be led by that divine. We are defined by our divine and not our timeline. Keep that in your spirit. Stay positive through all this shit out here. But most of all, I'm gonna say this from time to time. Try to have fun. That's why I make little clips and do little different things outside of speaking sometimes. Because sometimes we can get caught up in that too, in speaking. But we'll never get off point, because that divine has that hand on those that are righteous and mean well. Because the divine knows those of a real heart. So you'll never have to worry. Just keep forging forward. Keep on moving right on through. And keep being that silent hero until it's time to be a loud hero. And that's my thought. So I give honor to your family. And thank those that came in to another EBX discussion. Salute. Much love, much blessings to you and your family. And I give honor to the reachers and teachers. Salute. Honor your family, my family. I honor my children, their mothers, brothers and sisters all over the world. May you have peace in your part of the world and have a great, great strong. One.